Tuesday night, Raj is in the house. We were both in the city at the Radio Row for Super Bowl 60. A lot to talk about. The off season lays ahead. The Super Bowl comes up real shortly. We got a lot to get to. Let's get to it. Welcome aboard. Off and running on a Tuesday night, the Kreuger Show. Welcome. It is Tuesday, February the 3rd, exactly 9 p.m. West Coast, midnight back east. It's Wednesday. Welcome to the Kreuger Show, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. The best barbecue in all of Northern California is Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. You're going to love it. Get the brisket chili. They're open 7 days a week. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. They're in Corte Madera. They're in Emeryville. They're soon to open in Petaluma in 2026. Also, thanks to Sleeper. Thanks to Claw Daddy Arcades. We'll talk more about our sponsors later on. But we welcome in the man, the myth, the legend, the czar of RSF 49ers. They're going crazy in the studio for the great Raj Melwani. Raj, how are you?
Thanks for the warm welcome. I'm good. Crazy day today. They're saying I was on TV at the Pro Bowl today. Let's go, man. Good day. Good day.
Raj went to the Pro Bowl.
I was in there.
What was the Pro Bowl? It's flag football or fan?
Yeah, it's flag football. It's kind of. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was gonna be a better experience. They need to go back to Hawaii. It was like an exhibition flag football. I mean, it was cool for the vibes, but honestly, like, because we were up front, I was media sitting, and then they like.
Where was it?
It was across from the Moscone Center. So wherever that center was, across from the Moscone Center, it was there. It was cool. I got the
on a grass field, right?
Yeah, all grass, but or synthetic field, whatever. But it was all right. It was whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was the greatest thing ever. But it was cool for the vibes.
Now, how long will you keep the bracelet there? I see you still have the bracelet. I mean,
I barely got home. I'll take it off soon.
I mean, is it time to? I think it might. I mean, it's over. I mean, the experience is over. I would rip that thing off probably in the parking lot as I was walking to my car. I'd be ripping that thing off.
There it is. There we go.
There you go. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. The past is in the past. All right. Well, Jed York spoke today. He went on with Kay Adams, and he said a number of interesting things, I thought, and we can get into a bunch of them. But the one that I care the most about is that it seemed like Kay Adams and Jed York kind of spit it out that or let the cat out of the bag that Roger Craig's going to be a Hall of Famer. Now, it's come out recently that Belichick was not going to be a Hall of Famer. It came out Robert Kraft is not going to be a Hall of Famer. And this, Craig was on this list and you could only vote for so many guys. And the Super Bowl, of course, being here, there was rumor around the media center that maybe this is it. Roger Craig for the Hall of Fame. And man, this is the right time. He's got to get in. He belongs in. I've made this my personal crusade. I've worked with people on trying to argue his case. I devoted a segment of the pregame show on KMBR to a Let's Get Roger in the Hall of Fame segment where I pleaded to Dennis Brown and John Lund, his case. I looked it up and made the best case I could possibly make, and others have taken it and run with it, and the momentum is there. And I think this is Roger's year. And what do you think? I mean, here's the quote, I believe. Let me see if I can get the quote. It was like, it basically made it seem like, let me see if I can find the cut, but it made it seem like Roger, she kind of let the cat out of the bag, sort of. Did you kind of catch the?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, on Up and Adams show.
What do you think? I mean, is Roger going to the Hall? Is this it? Is this the year Roger gets in?
It needs to be. It has to be. Look, if Belichick didn't make it, maybe that's the reason. Maybe they didn't give him the votes because Roger Craig got the votes. Whatever. I know it's like a whole different voting system. He's like on the senior panel. This man needed to be in this Pro Bowl 20 years ago, 30 years ago. This man was revolutionary before, Marshall Faulk, before Christian McCaffrey, before LaDainian Tomlinson. were the all-purpose backs. He was the one. He was the first one to get 1,000. Like he was the hybrid, dual threat running back. And the fact that he's not in it is crazy. He kind of revolutionized that position for an all-purpose type running back. I think Roger Craig deserves it. I hope this is the year because honestly, if he doesn't make it this year, Larry, I don't think he'll ever make it. And it's kind of a tragedy because he was one of the best players on that 49ers dynasty. Me and you were talking today at Radio Row, like how great that dynasty was. We were talking about the documentary and like how amazing that team was. Like it's about time they made a documentary of it. And it's about time Roger Craig gets in the Hall of Fame. So I'm hoping we see that news on Thursday. He deserves it. And if she let the cat out of the bag, that's kind of crazy. He didn't get to break his own news, but at the end of the day, I hope he does get elected on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like the way she said it, like she was saying that that he was going to get in. And it's like, well, I don't know. That is interesting. The substation thing also came up with I'm not expecting them to, go into great detail about the substation, but here's what he had to say, and let's evaluate it for ourselves. Here it is. Jed York on the electrical substation, and this is the owner of the 49ers. Let's hear what he had to say. Wait, hold on. Cue it up. There we go. Turn him up. Thank you, Jed. One more time with feeling.
But the substation, right? Like the people are talking about injuries.
Yeah.
That's been there since 1987.
Oh, we're going there, Jed? Okay.
That's been there since 1987. Jerry Rice was there.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to affect Jerry Rice. It seemed like Jerry Rice can still play today. I don't believe that's something that is a real
everyone's
issue.
being asked about it.
I'm sure.
Lynch, I'm sure. Fred Warner was asked about it yesterday. Is there like due diligence being done? Have you researched it, or is it?
We'll look into it, but we've been there since 1987 next to the substation, and this is the first time that somebody has brought it up. It's not like it happened last season. Jerry Rice seemed to be pretty healthy during his career. Like all those guys seem to be pretty healthy during their career. I think we can debunk it.
It's too pragmatic, Jed.
Yeah.
This like critical thinking.
Can't do that.
Well, but then it begs the question, what do we do? What's the next step on it? John Lynch said it yesterday. Your amazing GM said we have to, what did he say? We have to have a plan, like the next few steps. We have what are the next things to check off the list of like why this? I mean what I said, Jed. You're healthy, you're in the Super Bowl. You're not. This team specifically.
Did you say that specifically to John?
No, I didn't see John.
You should. All right.
But you know what I mean?
No,
the injuries, it's like the most frustrating. Like
it's unbelievably frustrating, and we need to be better at it.
But what is it?
If I knew, I would wave my magic wand and I would fix it. We need to fix it. We need to make sure that we are healthy. We need to make sure that we are best able to compete. Because you said it, when we're healthy, we're in the Super Bowl.
All right. I got a lot of thoughts.
Go ahead. I
got a lot of thoughts. Okay, first of all, it is the height of arrogance to say that if you're healthy, you're in the Super Bowl. That's not true. Come on, you're telling me that if you just added Bosa and Warner and Mikel, that suddenly the 49ers would be on the exact same level with Seattle? No, the Niners have gotten very slow. It's a very slow team. Now, when the Niners went to the Super Bowl the first time around, 54 against the Chiefs, I'm talking about in this regime, that the Chiefs and the Niners were the two fastest teams in football, according to GPS. And the 49ers are no longer that fast team. In fact, they're really, really slow.
Yeah.
McCaffrey's not really slow, but all of the 49er weapons were guys like Bourne and Jennings. And, with that, Ricky was the only guy that was 4.4. Those other guys were like 4.6, 4.7. Juice, Kittle, they're not burnt. There's no burners there. There's not a lot of speed. And then the Niners don't have a ton of speed on defense either. That's the issue. It's their lack of speed. It's not as simple as, oh, they just had Warner, they just had Bosa, they just had McHale, and that's who we're talking about because those are the three major injuries. They're absolutely in the Super Bowl. No, I'm not giving you that. I'm not. This Seattle team's way better. It's not. You're not just gonna be able to say snap your fingers. Either way, the two of those three guys is old. So I mean, they're older players. I mean, not old players, but they're not spring chickens. They've been around. So guys who are around tend to get hurt eventually. So I don't believe that. I think the Niners, I think it's not productive for the 49ers to delude themselves into thinking that if they had just had Warner and Bosa and McHale, they would have won the Super Bowl. No, they're not nearly good enough. That would be my take.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely would have helped them at least make that game against Seattle a little bit more competitive. But yeah, they're obviously a little far away from where they need to be. This offseason's a big one, Larry. Like, I get it. We need speed because even Kyle Shanahan at the end of the year presser, he said speed is needed because you're right. The fastest receivers are running 4.7s. We can't be doing that. When you have cornerbacks in this league that are, running 4.5, 40s, 4.4s, you can't be running a wide receiver with a 4.7 speed. You need a guy that can, be a vertical threat, open up the offense because the Niners don't have that. It's just they don't. And then you could just stack the box, put everything on CMC. They know they're not going to beat you in the deep game. And then if you take away Brock's mobility, it's game over. So speed and then offensive line. We've sat here, talked about it, beating the drum. We need offensive line. Like, no matter what, the Niners can sell you that some of these players they have on their O-line are great. They're not. They need to get a better O-line. And at the end of the day, Trent Williams is closer to my age than he is to some of these younger fans out there. And that's not good. I love Trent Williams. He's getting up there in age. We need to start getting the heir apparent. We need to figure out what the hell we do with this O-line. And yeah, Bosa's great, but he's also going to be coming off his second ACL tear. Get some help on the line. So, Niners need a lot of work to do. As far as the electrical substation and Jed York, I think he kind of like brushed it off like it's who cares? Like he was like, "Oh, we'll look into it." It's him saying it's stupid. It's been here since ADC. He's not going to look into that. At the end of the day, at least do some research because you never know. I mean, whether you believe in the substation or not, it's going to be a topic all off season because it came up. The Niners are always hurt. What are you going to do to stop the injuries? And he didn't even have an answer. He's like, I don't know if I had a magic wand. The man doesn't know what the hell he's doing with injuries. At the end of the day, man, it's going to be a topic, and it seems like he just brushed it off. Like, oh, we don't care about the substation.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's, at the end of the day, you better have, agents and players may have real questions, and I don't think they're going to be assured by Jerry stayed healthy, especially since Jerry didn't stay healthy. Jerry tore. Not only that, Jerry tore his knee up. Jerry, Jerry had multiple major injuries. It's not like Jerry stayed healthy. Jerry was hurt like everybody else. That's not a good thing to say. Is Jerry stayed? I mean, some anecdotal singular player. I mean, come on, you wouldn't accept some anecdotal singular player as a trend for anything. I mean, it's a foolish thing to say. Even if you were right, even if Jerry was never missed a practice ever, it's still so. That's one player 20 years ago. Come on, you got to have more than that. Guess what? That may satisfy your most passionate fan, but that's not going to satisfy your really curious agent or the player who really maybe believes that there's something to it. They're going to want more assurances than Jerry stayed healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope they have more in their game plan. Hopefully that's just the owner and this is not his, area of expertise. But I hope they're going forward with more than, Jerry stayed healthy, because that means that they're going to lose out on some free agents because somebody's going to believe that there's something to it.
Yeah, and you have to give them like a good reason why you shouldn't, believe. Like if you could debunk it or whatever. Because at the end of the day, no matter if you believe in it or not, Larry, like if you do or if I do, I don't know. It doesn't matter if we do. There's going to be players out there that are going to be like, I don't know, substation. Is it a real thing? They're going to look into it. And sometimes their mind is already made up. So, and I know it sounds stupid, but it is something to look into. In 1987, A long time ago, Larry. I was 3 years old. 1987, the EMF waves, they might have been a little different in 87 compared to 2026. And also, I don't know, man. It's a weird topic. I know a lot of people are tired of it, but it is going to be one of the big topics of the offseason. You know, before it was contract drama. This year, one of the big topics for the 49ers is going to be that damn substation, whether you like it or not. So we're going to talk about it. He just seemed like he was annoyed at Kay Adams as she even brought it up. I was like, come on, man. What are you getting mad? She brought it up, and then you started talking about it, and then you had no answer for it. So he was just all over.
Yeah, I mean, they better change their tune. Rogan talked about it on his podcast. You know, forget Kay Adams. I mean, just the fact that Rogan brought it up means that you better address it, or potentially you're going to lose out on some free agents. And hopefully that's not a painful thing. I'll say this. I'm telling you right now, it could potentially be an issue. If the 49ers allow themselves to just get played by this and have no answer other than Jerry wasn't hurt and they get no free agents, that's on them. And they're going to be criticized for that. Because everybody has said, this is an issue. And so you're going to have to address it or deal with it. You're not just going to be able to slough it off. We'll see where it goes. But that's just come up my thought on that. Now, on a more positive note, Fred Warner stopped by and was talking about Brock Purdy, and he's got some pretty good things to say about Purdy here. If I could just hit the right, there we go. All right, there we go. We'll share the screen here. Here's Kay Adams with Fred talking about Purdy.
What does Brock, in your eyes, do better than every quarterback in the league?
I think that he just processes the game at a different level than everybody. And I say it all the time. The ability for a quarterback to process pre and post snap, to dissect what the defense is doing, knowing where the ball's supposed to go, and then putting it exactly where it needs to be. Brock does it with the best of them. And so I think that's why he is the best quarterback in the league. I'll say it. All right. Even though, yes, he is my.
We're not even top five. I mean,
not even top five.
You give quarterbacks objective love. You said Justin Herbert you love. You like him more than Justin Herbert.
I give respect where it's due. Justin Herbert's a great quarterback, but he's not Brock Purdy. All right. Brock Purdy's the best. And I see it every single day. I see it every week. And it's only a matter of time before he's got not only a Super Bowl trophy, but an MVP trophy. All right. That's how good he is.
Wow. That's pretty powerful stuff, man. Pretty powerful stuff there from Fred Warner. What do you think?
I mean, that's some mega glaze there, but I mean, that's his teammate. But at the end of the day, he is a good processor. I love Brock. He's an underdog. He's
best
underrated.
Quarterback in the league, dude.
I don't know if he's the best quarterback in the league.
Wait, Fred just said it. Fred just said he's the best quarterback in the league. You know, we can tell Fred he's wrong.
Maybe I'll have that conversation tomorrow when I see him. We'll see. We'll see.
Wait a second. How about then? I'll go immediately to this. Hey, man, Fred plays the game. Raj, are you a better, more knowledgeable person than Fred? He plays the game.
You're right. Fred knows ball. He's smart. You're right. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. But at the end of the day, Brock is underrated. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. For him saying that he's better than Herbert, I don't think I think that's not a stretch. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't believe he said he's better than Herbert. What has Herbert done? Has he won any playoff games? He hasn't. Like, if you look at his career compared to Brock has had more success than Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert's supposed to be like this unbelievable quarterback. He's him. Oh my God. He doesn't elevate that team in the playoffs. And he also, you take away the O-line and he falls apart. I mean, most quarterbacks do, but just look at that guy. He's become injury riddled throughout the last couple of years. I think Justin Herbert's great, but I think he's right. I think Fred Warner, in that sense, Brock Purdy is better than Justin Herbert. I'll agree with them there. But to be the best quarterback in the league, I love you, Fred, but I'm going to have to push back on that one.
I mean, we can all see all the things, the Brock Purdy's better than Justin Herbert conversation is such a one-sided conversation from the standpoint of everything that Herbert is better at than Purdy can be seen with the naked eye. Everything that Purdy's better at than Herbert cannot be seen. Like, you can't necessarily, I mean, you can, if you watch a lot of film, see the processing, but you don't see it just necessarily from the upper deck. It's more subtle. It's more nuanced. It takes a lot more football IQ and intelligence to see that kind of thing than it does to see raw arm strength or awesome foot speed. But Brock Purdy, it's interesting. He thinks he's the best processor. One, it's cool that Fred thinks so highly of his quarterback because he's not Fred. Yeah, you can say he's backing his guy, but Fred's not a stooge. You know, that the one thing about Fred, he's not a stooge. He's not like, well, Brock's my guy no matter what. It's not like he would just say that any quarterback on the Niners is the best quarterback in football. Now, I know that is why he's saying it, but I really think on some level he believes it.
I agree. I think he at some level, but I mean, you look at the Niners this season. Like, this is why I got to give Brock a lot of credit. We saw this season. I mean, yeah, he had the turf toe. He came back and he played such at a high level. And we talked about it earlier. The fastest receivers were running 4.7s, Larry, and he's out there dropping 5 touchdown games back to back. He had 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks, my guy. And he had Christian McCaffrey, and that's about it. He had George Kittle also, but George was, out of the season, part of the season, for some part. Juwan Jennings is his number 1 receiver, and he was out there dropping touchdown after touchdown. Like, listen, Justin Herbert, taller, faster, stronger, bigger arm. I get all that. He looks like a quarterback. Dating Madison Breer, good for him. But at the end of the day, man, for Brock Purdy to go out there and drop the touchdowns he did with this roster this year, it's amazing. So you have to give him credit. Would I trade Brock Purdy for Justin Herbert? Honestly, I'd be cool with Brock Purdy, man. Like, again, he's proven that he could win in the playoffs, and Justin Herbert has not. I love Justin. I think he's a great quarterback. But look at the game. Look at the playoff success. Oh, Brock, the man was throwing 5 touchdowns with Juwan Jennings as his number 1 receiver. No disrespect to Juwan Jennings.
It's funny. In the documentary, the rise of the 49ers, it's a 4-parter, but in the part that I saw, Walsh was talking about Joe, and he's talking about how he doesn't have an arm of and he said Pastorini, Dan Pastorini, who was a Bay Area guy as well, went to Bellarmine, who played for the Oilers way back, and he just had an absolute howitzer, right? This guy just had a ridiculous gun and would go up top all the time. So it kind of made me funny. He doesn't have an arm like Pastorini, he said, but he throws he's very accurate, and he throws. This is what he's saying about Joe. He goes, he throws a ball that anybody can catch, right? And that's really what Brock Purdy is. I mean, he's super competitive, like Joe. He's underrated athletically, like Joe. Joe is very underrated athletically. And he throws a very catchable football that he can play with any number of receivers. And he's shown it. He's shown it this year. Kendrick Bourne, come on down. JJ, obviously if he had better receivers, it would be better. But I mean, he's done it this year with Tonjes. He's doing it. I'm not saying he can do it with anybody, but he can do it with more than just one receiver. I mean, Brock Purdy has that to him. For sure. The other thing that I wanted to get to is that the 49ers have to be active in the free agent market. And I want to know what you want to spend your money on. And I bring this up because the 2 teams in the Super Bowl, New England and Seattle, what do they have in common? They were 2 of the top 3 teams, Raj, in free agent spending in 2025. They're both spent a lot of money in free agency. New England spent, they led the NFL. They spent $365 million on free agents, Milton Williams and a bunch of guys. Seattle was 3rd with $243 million. A lot of that was Sam Darnold. The Niners were 30th in free agent spending last year, $57 million. Only Pittsburgh and Cleveland spent less in the free agent period than the Niners did. So I don't know about you, but that right there is a big deal. The 49ers have to spend some money in free agency. If they just, if they sit it out this year, that's going to be a bad thing. The Niners are projected to carry $22 million in dead cap. They had over $103 million in dead cap last year. So they've kind of gotten beyond their big financial woes. And they do have roughly $50 million of cap room. Who do you want in free agency? The Niners have 12 needs. I mean, literally defensive tackle, defensive end, 2 linebackers. They need a free safety. They need a number 1 corner. They need a tight end. They need another running back. They need a couple receivers. They need a left guard. They need a center. I mean, they have a bunch of needs, And those are just the ones that come to mind.
Yeah.
Who do you want? But there's got to be, and they're going to make some trades. They're going to try to do some of it in the draft. But I've got the list of free agents out here.
Yeah.
And I'll show you the list.
And you can, I got a couple on my mind. But also, too.
These are just the edge defenders. Okay. So these are the edge defender free agents. Trey Hendrickson, Khalil Mack, Hassan Reddick, Joey Bosa, Malcolm Kuntz, Leonard Floyd. By the way, Leonard Floyd, I would say put some money on that. Why? Yeah. Because he was with Raheem Morris both in Atlanta and with the Rams.
With the Rams,
He's a 5-man front specialist in some ways.
He's played on the Niners too, so he knows
the Niners as well. Yeah. So I could see Leonard Floyd back. Yatir Gross-Matos, Draymond Jones, Ebukam, Arden Key, a couple ex-Niners, Joseph Osai, he's a pretty good player. Dante Fowler, Joe Tryon, Charles Omenihu, another ex-Niner, Derek Barnett.
Azeez Ojulari, get that man.
Azeez Ojulari, I like that one. Philadelphia's 25. He's only 25 years old.
Get that man.
Odafe Owe from the Chargers, who was with Baltimore. Former Penn State. He's only 27. He's an Arnold Ebiketie played for Raheem Morris this last year. I would say Arnold Ebiketie could be definitely coming to the Niners. Boye Mafe is an interesting name. I've always liked him.
Yeah, he's good.
So there's interesting guys there. So this is the list. Okoronkwo has played in a wide 9 before. There's Michael Clemens from the Jets. Drake Jackson, the ex-Niner. There's some interesting names on this list for sure. Sam McQueen.
We're not bringing all these old Niners back, Larry.
No. In fact, we're going to get to that. This
Robert Beal.
Kingsley Inigbare might be a good one for Green Bay. So those are the edge rushers. Now, if I just
sign Kingsley at some point, I thought he was on the Niners.
No, he's from South Carolina. But here is the top free agents. Period. Okay, Hendrickson, Mike Evans, Trevon Diggs, Christian Kirk, Khalil Mack, Debo. These are just names. Braden Smith, offensive tackle. Travis Kelce. Jonah Williams, Joel Bitonio. So there you go. This is basically, you can see the list here of free agents, and I gave you some of the D linemen. Who do you want to go after? Who's your big free agent guy or veteran guy that you would try to go after?
Yeah, good question. So real quick, I know, like you said, so the team was 30th in free agent spending. They did spend money because they had to re-sign their own guy. They extended like Warner and Bosa, or not Bosa, Kittle and Brock Purdy. So they spent money, just not on free agent. And this year, I hope they have the money to spend. They're going to kick Brandon Ayuk to the curb. They voided his contract. But absolutely, if I had to sign some big free agents for the 49ers, I'm getting Tyler Linderbaum. Upgrade that center. Like, you just have to get away from Jake Brendel. And I don't care what the PFF stats say or whatever. The man's like 35. He's a journeyman center. Tyler Linderbaum's a lot younger. He's like 10 years younger. He's a good player. Go bring him in. Spend some money on a good offensive lineman. And the Niners, we talked about it. They need speed at wide receiver. I like Alec Pierce from the Colts. The guy's a burner. I think you bring him in, and I think he would really help this offense. They're going to probably make some trades for sure. But those two guys off the top of my head, I would really love. You go get a nice center, get a quality wide receiver because they need receivers. They're going to need a lot of receivers. Definitely get a safety if you can find the best available safety in the market. Spend some money on a good safety because that safety department is just, it's not it this year. I mean, hopefully Siegel can develop a little bit more. Mustafa was okay, but they need depth there, man. Get away from Jair Brown and, invest in your secondary because that secondary was not great. But I think Raheem Morris is going to bring in a lot of defensive guys. So I wouldn't mind Leonard Floyd, but he is a little older. A lot of those edge rushers, don't know. They're a little bit on the older side. If you can get some of the younger guys in, that'd be nice. But
Okay, this is what I'm going with.
draft
This is what I'm going with. I'm going with trade Brandon Ayuk to the Steelers
mhm.
for Jalen Ramsey, and then play Ramsey at corner or safety. But he's been with Raheem, and
That's a good call.
I think I would like to see that. Then you get rid of Ayuk and you get Ramsey all in one swoop.
Okay.
Steelers get that receiver they want at a price tag that is now totally reasonable because supposedly they're shopping Ramsey.
Mhm.
So Ramsey for Ayuk, your trash for our trash. Sorry, trash. But the other name, I like the idea of Kyle Pitts. I really
like
think Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts is the guy they need. Niners need a dynamic player. They need someone who can replace JJ. They may need someone who can replace Kittle. I mean, obviously, they still have Kittle, and who knows about JJ's future. But I think Pitts could be, if they kept JJ and Kittle, I think Pitts would still be awesome. I think Pitts, he's 25. He got off to a little bit of a slow start. But now he's rounding into form. He's never really played with any consistency at the quarterback spot. I think if you get Kyle Pitts, you're getting a truly great player. And I think that I saw his estimated price tag. They're saying he's going to make, somewhere he made 8.2 this year. They're saying he may make, between like 10 and 14 million. That's better than what, they're talking about paying JJ. They're talking about paying, JJ 20 million a year, 15 million a year. I'd rather pay, Kyle Pitts 13 million and go try to find young receivers to replace, Jennings than invest in Jennings. So I don't know. Kyle Pitts for sure would be
that'd be a home run there. If they can get Kyle Pitts, that'd be a home run move. Bring him in. That way you actually, and that's great because George Kittle doesn't have to like stress himself in trying to rush himself back. You have a very reliable tight end to kind of bridge that gap. And then when Kittle comes back, you got Kittle and Pitts together. Oh man, that would be great. And then he could be the heir apparent when Kittle, if it decides to hang it up. I like Kyle Pitts. A lot of upside. 25 coming off a career year. And guess what? He played for Atlanta. Raheem Morris, coach for Atlanta. It might be the move. That might be the move.
The one thing that Raheem Morris had in Atlanta this year is they had a lot of speed off the edge.
They did.
James Pierce and Jalen Walker. And I'd love to see the Niners get a little bit more speed off the edge. Obviously, Bryce Huff is fantastic, but it'd be nice if they could find a little bit more speed. It's the other, the Ebiketie one is interesting. I could see Ebiketie because he is kind of a speed rusher. What do you think overall of Raheem Morris, the hire of Raheem Morris? I mean, he's well thought of. He's obviously him and Shanahan go back. There's a comfort level there, and yet he's never really coordinated some top tier defenses. But he does have a couple Super Bowl rings. He's an interesting coach because he was in Tampa. Had the Tampa 2 system. Then he's with Quinn, and they run kind of a 4-3. Then he goes to LA. He's running a 3-4. Then he goes back to Atlanta. They're kind of running some kind of a hybrid 4-3, 3-4. I mean, he's kind of thought to be a guy that can adapt to the players that he has. What do you think Morris is going to try to run? Do you think Kasarik stays and they stay with their wide 9? They seem to love it.
They love that wide 9. And I know Kyle's been on record saying, they like to kind of have that continuity. So maybe they might run some concepts of it, but honestly, I think they just got to let Raheem do what he feels comfortable with. I do like the hire because he is a versatile coach, and he's got, to me, the biggest W for that is just he does have good chemistry with Kyle, and I think that's going to really help. When he gets introduced to the team, I think that Kyle's going to say, hey, look, this is my guy. I know we lost Saleh, but look, this guy's a fantastic guy, and I think that's going to really help win over the team. He's coached as a DC when the Rams were Super Bowl champs. So I think that gives him a lot of credibility in the locker room. I like the fact that he has versatility in the fact that he's coached in a lot of different varieties, like you said. So as far as the scheme, I'm not too sure because I don't know if Kyle wants to let it up to him. I mean, Chris Kaser, great guy. He's been on the team for many years as a coach, but he's not your coordinator. You got to let the coordinator dictate that. And I think that's what Kyle needs to do is like whatever Raheem wants to do, that's what we're running. And I think Chris Kasurek would be okay to kind of, add some variations. And I think this team needs to change it up a little bit. We've been running the wide 9, and this team hasn't got a Super Bowl running the wide 9. I think it's great, but this year proved that wide 9 was not getting it done. I know they didn't have a lot of the personnel because of the injuries and stuff, but they got to change it up because they were not getting to the quarterback, regardless of injuries or not. I think maybe you got to change it up. Let Raheem cook. Let him do what he needs to do.
What would be your first move of the offseason? Kyle Posey on Niners Nation threw this out. And this is a good question because, there's a right move and a wrong move for your first move. And it's got to make sense. His move is actually 2 moves, even though the question was, what's your first move? His first move would be to cut Bryce Huff and to create $5 million in available cap room, and then use that cap room to make a trade for Kayvon Thibodeau. I've never seen anybody use cap room to, other than they're going to take on Thibodeau, and he's saying probably trade a draft pick to get Thibodeau. It's kind of two moves there. My first move, I'm not sure if I love that because I like Bryce Huff, and I'm not sure that Thibodeau's even that much of a dramatic upgrade. And then you're talking about also throwing draft pick in there. I like the idea of trading for Jordan Addison. Why? Because they've already rejected the 5th-year option. He's had 3 brushes with the law. And yet if you want him, he's been a pretty good receiver. But I think he wants an extension. They're obviously not going to, since they didn't pick up the 5th-year option, they're obviously not interested in any kind of long-term extension. So they have a receiver that's kind of, the clock is ticking. And I think you can get him for probably a 4th-round pick. I don't think it's going to take a day 2 pick to get Jordan Addison. I think he's just flawed enough as a off the field player, and just they've already shown their hand of cards, and he's really close to needing an extension. I think he's a 4th or 5th round pick, kind of a compensation. And if I'm the Niners, I would start the offseason there. Why? Because you need other receivers, and you may need a free agent receiver. And if you go into the free agent market and you have absolutely nothing at receiver, you're going to get held up.
You're going to get killed. Yeah.
You're going to get killed. So at least if you have Jordan Addison, you could be like, yeah, you know what? Sorry, Wandale Robinson, we're not giving you X. We're going to walk away. Or sorry, Alec Pierce, we're not treating you like Jerry Rice. So it helps you keeps you from getting screwed, kind of.
Yeah, gives you some leverage.
Exactly. It's a leverage play.
It's a good idea.
What do you think? What would be your first move of this offseason if you could make it?
Mine is simple, Larry. Just go. You either give him an extension or you give him the franchise tag. Go get Eddie Pinheiro signed up, man. Listen, this guy was a savior of your team last year. He was one of your MVPs. If it wasn't for Eddie Pinheiro, I don't know where the hell the Niners would be. He made every kick except one field goal wise for you last year. This man was a hero in the Bay. Lock that man up. Give him a contract. Give him some financial stability. Go get your kicker signed up. And then you don't have to worry about that. And then you can go focus on which guy we're going to trade for, who are we going to get offensively. Then you can really focus on the offseason. Because if you got contract lingering, the Niners, it's the last thing they need is any contract drama. Eddie Pinheiro should be relatively easy. Lock that man up, or at least give him the franchise tag. So go sign Eddie P, and then you can go worry about the rest.
I agree. Simple. I agree. That is where I would start as well. As far as your own guys. Let's take a look at the 49er free agents here. I'll just put the unrestricted free agents up. We won't have to look at the rest of them.
Austin,
but it's an interesting list. It's an extensive list, but it's a list that's interesting. So let's just go right down. I'll name you a guy, and you say stays or goes. Okay, real simple, real basic.
It's gonna be easy for me.
Do you need this to be explained to you, Raj?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You got this.
We're good, baby. I got a doctor. We're good.
Stays or goes? Okay. Yatir Gross Motto stays or goes?
He gone.
He goes. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. He goes. Jawan Jennings stays or goes. Now, by the way, it shows the previous salary here for JJ at $5.9 million. It
Yeah.
shows his AAV market value at $22.6 million.
He gone for that price. He gone. You get Kyle Pitts, like you said. He gone.
He gone.
Oh.
Jordan Elliott stays or goes?
How old is he? 28.
He's 28.
It's not bad depth. I'd keep him for another 2 years. He can stay.
I'd kind of
I
agree.
like
I think
can
he
stay.
stays. I think he stays.
We need that depth on that D line. We can stay.
Spencer Burford, 25 years old. It says left tackle, but he's really a guard. It says he makes $2.275 million. It says he's going to get 3.3. I think he's going to get like 5. I think he's going to get like 3 years, 15 million from somebody.
He
at
gone.
At least.
He gone. He can go make that money somewhere else. He gone.
He's
upgrade.
Gone.
Upgrade.
Jason Pinnock.
He gone.
I agree. Kevin Givens.
I kind of do like him. We need depth, but he gone.
Yeah, no, I think he's gone. Luke Gifford, Pro Bowl special teamer.
Stay away from this team. He gone.
He's gone. Kendrick Bourne said today in the media room he would love to come back.
He told me personally he wants to come back. You know what? I like Kendrick Bourne. Got a good energy. He's a good veteran. Bring him back. He won't cost
Bringing
much.
him back.
I love KB. Okay. Bring him back for the vibes.
I'm saying he's gone. We're all in agreement though, except for Jordan Elliott.
Yeah.
We both think Jordan Elliott's staying. Sky Moore stays.
Honestly,
or goes?
Keep him, man. He was a really good return man. I think he found his niche on the team. We need him. He was the best return man we've had in a long time, in a decade. Keep him. He's staying.
He stays. John Weeks, he stays, he goes.
Bro, he's 40 years old. He's great as a long snapper. He's played in the league for 15 years, Larry. He gone.
I think he stays. I think they're going to wind up keeping the whole Morstead,
they want to keep him,
Weeks, Moore. I think because I think they understand that there's going to be a lot of turnover on both sides of the ball. So I think they're going to try to stay with the same guys on special teams.
Okay, that's fair.
That'd be my guess. Ben Barch stays or goes?
Go. He gone. He's gone.
I think he stays. I think he might stay.
Get him out of there, please. He can't even stay healthy. Get him out of there.
Brian Robinson stays or goes?
He's gone. They got Jordan James. They're going to move on from Brian Robinson. They didn't even use him much. He's gone. He's going to get money.
Thomas Morstead, I think he stays.
I think he retires. We get a new punter. That's my prediction. Okay. Bold prediction, Thomas Morstead retires.
He's a kid. He's only 40.
40 years old, brother.
Matt Hennessy stays or goes?
He gone.
I agree. Curtis Robinson stays or goes?
He's gone.
I agree. Cleve Farrell stays or goes?
He's going to stay for another year or two. I like him. He was a good veteran. I think he likes it here. He's a solid depth piece for the Niners. I hope he stays.
Yeah, I think he's going to stay too.
Yeah.
We both think Eddie Pinheiro is going to stay. Patrick Taylor.
He's gone. They got young running backs.
He's gone. Yeah, Trent Taylor's going to retire, so he's gone.
No, you know what? Trent Taylor's going to stay because that's George Kittle's best friend. That's the Cabo clique. This man, he's been on the injured reserve all year. He's out there in Cabo with the squad. This man, Trent Taylor, always finds a way. He's staying. Somehow he's going to stick around with this team. Crazy.
By the way, is it just me or does it seem really lame to wear matching outfits if you're a guy?
I was so forget brother.
I mean, I feel like I was watching the Ryder Cup.
God, bro.
Like, what is this?
For sure.
And who shopped for all that?
The wives, all their wives, they did.
But I mean, don't you dress yourself?
No, but it was like a whole thing. They agreed to it. I think Kristen Juszczyk posted. She's like, if they all dressed in matching outfit, they can go play golf or something. Yeah, so
what's that?
They're rich. They got a lot of money.
What's that about?
It's the Cabo
have
clique.
Have you ever dressed up matching with your buds?
No, the only time I did matching was Sadie Hawkins with the girl I was with in high school. That's the last time I matched with someone, like outfit wise. I mean, yeah, there's like costumes and stuff, but you never go with your boys like that.
Matching outfits
for Sadie Hawkins.
Is matching outfits part of the Niners' problem?
It might be. They're worried about matching their outfit. What else are they matching?
I don't. I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
I'm just saying.
All right, Garrett Wallow stays or
Get
goes?
him out of my team, please. Gone. Hit the road, Jack.
Yeah. Eric Kendrick stays or goes?
Honestly, I hope he stays. I like Eric Kendricks and Fred Warner next year running it. Let's go, man. I like Eric Kendricks. He was a very good addition to this team. I think
he was.
Fun.
He played well. He played well.
Good.
I would kind of agree. I would go Kendrick stays, Pinheiro stays, Cleve Farrell stays, Morstead stays, possibly Barch as a backup, Weeks possibly as the long snapper. Sky Moore could stay. Everybody else, and maybe Jordan Elliott, just because you got to have some depth on your D line. Everybody else is going to be gone. I mean, I think it's basically just back up the truck, say goodbye to all these guys. I think it's really that simple. You know what I mean? Don't you? I mean, don't you think it's like honestly, those aren't even really tough calls.
It's not even that. This year's offseason should be so easy with your in-house moves. Honestly, Larry, listen, if John Lynch is watching, we just did your work for you. We just did your off-season work for you.
Yeah.
Now go bring us some damn free agents. Now go spend that money. Instead of being the 30th spending, be like the Patriots and be number 1, or maybe 3 like the Seahawks, because they got it done this year. Go spend some money, John. We did the hard work we did the heavy lifting for John Lynch, Larry. That man should owe us. He owes us a lot.
Okay, a couple more before we finish up here.
He owes us.
Sean Merriman, according to Coach Yak, he put this out, believes the Niners should trade for either Myles Garrett or Max Crosby this offseason.
Yeah.
He says, first of all, the mentality has to be passed down, but you need the players. Yeah, if I'm the 49ers this offseason, I'm going to take a run at Myles Garrett. I'm taking a run at Max Crosby. I'm taking a run at these guys because they're an instant upgrade. Nick comes back, and nobody's going to know how he will look. He's saying a bunch of things. Anyway, what do you think?
Bottom line, he's saying get Myles Garrett and Max Crosby because it's good for the team. It's going to make them stronger. And if you lose Bosa or whatever, or Bosa's coming back from injury, you need to have some dogs out there. Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to do a sleeper lineup right here. I've just been told by the management that we will be doing a sleeper lineup.
Man,
so the management around here is very difficult. It's it's a tough. I mean, you don't just do a stream with Raj on a Tuesday night. You take orders from above. All right. 49er football season presented all season long by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. Super Bowl 60. Who do you want, Raj?
I want the Patriots to win, but I think the Seahawks are going to win.
No, but who do you want in our picks here?
Let's give me let's see what listen. I was at opening night and I got to interview some of these guys. JSN gave me a lot of time. He gave me the time of the day, and he was he was one of the most busiest guys, and he took a lot of time to sit there and talk with me. So I got a lot of respect for JSN. I hate the Seahawks, but JSN's a cool dude. Good media trading. They tried Jordan Elliott from Niners. They tried to hit him with the demo question. He's like, he wasn't falling for the bait. He was very well versed in his media game. So let's go to JSN.
Give me an anytime touchdown on JSN.
Give me an anytime tutty for JSN.
Yeah.
Got respect for the guy. He's amazing. Good dude.
That's the one for him. For Darnold's definitely going to throw a pick.
Okay.
I mean, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to throw a pick. So you got Darnold throwing a pick. At least one. Give me
get a anytime tutty for Javon or for Walker. That man's been on a heater.
So we got the pick for
Kenneth
Darnold.
Walker.
Kenneth Walker. K9.
Yeah.
We're looking for K9. What do you want on him?
Anytime tutty. He's scored a touchdown.
Okay. Let's see Ramondre Stevenson carries. I want to see that because I just get the feeling that New England's going to run the ball.
They're going to run that rock.
They're going to run the ball. And the Rams, here's the one thing about Seattle that nobody talks about. Oh, the defense. Blake Corum just ran for 6.1 yards per carry. And nobody has any idea how he did it. So 49.5 rush yards, 14.5. I like the 14.5 rush attempts.
Okay.
Give me more than 14.5 rush attempts for Ramondre.
He said he's ready to run like as much as he can. When we were talking to him yesterday, he said he's ready to rock and roll, and if they need him to run a lot, he's ready. He's prime. So, do we got any defensive players on here? I want to get a defense. I know we don't do a lot of defensive ones on here, but
who are you looking for?
Let's see who we got on the Seahawks defensive line, because Drake May is getting sacked. Dexter Lawrence,
Demarcus
Lawrence. He's for sure getting a sack on him.
He's up there. He's right there.
They get
a little bit higher. He's right there. There it is.
Yeah, we getting that sack.
You want a sack on Demarcus Lawrence?
Point. Yeah, he's gonna hit Drake May, put him in the. He's gonna put it on him. I'm telling you.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
He looked, dude. Yes, I'll tell you this. The Patriots, they came out yesterday. They looked like a bunch of guys. Good team. The Seahawks came out yesterday, and it looked like a Super Bowl team. I was like, God, these guys got so. They had some aura. Not gonna lie to you, Larry. They looked intimidating. I was like, okay.
Okay. Just the look of the in the ballroom.
DeMarcus Lawrence looked like he's getting a sack on Sunday.
He looked like a bad man.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with it. DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack, Darnold with a pick, Walker with a tutty, JSN with a touchdown, Stevenson with 15 carries.
Ooh,
I love it.
Wow. So $10 gets you how much? $158, baby. Let's go. Run it.
I love it.
Water into wine.
Yeah, seriously, it's like an ATM machine. We just that's like going to the bank right there. Use promo code Larry. Once again, Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. I love me some Sleeper. All right. Sleeper is fantastic. It really is. It's a lot of fun. It definitely is a lot of fun.
It is fun.
All right, here we go. We got one more for you, Raj.
Okay.
We're 52 minutes into our live stream. Did you know 13 years ago today, the 49ers lost to the Baltimore Ravens in Super Bowl 47 at the Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana? I was there. The Harbaugh Bowl went to John Harbaugh. Joe Flacco was your Super Bowl MVP. Former Niner at the time was Anquan Boldin, but he was with the Ravens, and he had a touchdown. He had 100+ yards. Jacoby Jones had 234 total return yards and a touchdown, and one of the worst non-calls of all time against Bruce Miller. Frank Gore ran for 110 yards and a touchdown, but did not get the ball inside the 5 at the end. Colin Kaepernick threw for 302 passing yards, ran for 62 yards, had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Crabtree and Vernon Davis both went over the 100-yard mark that day in New Orleans. So the Niners started off by winning 5 Super Bowls, and now they've lost 3 in a row. So they've been to 8. If I say to you your favorite 49ers Super Bowl and your least favorite 49ers Super Bowl, what do you got?
Easy one. So I can't believe you brought this up. You bringing that pain up in here. I'm sure the chat's not too happy about that, but we'll play the game. We'll answer the question. My favorite.
Look what we're getting. What the fuck, Larry? Who cares?
Yeah, dude. Seriously, that WTF, Larry? I can't believe you brought that.
Really,
up.
Buzzkill. I can't.
That was
definitely Super Bowl week.
We can't talk about the wins and the losses, Larry. You bringing up Super Bowl lot. You sit here. Happy anniversary. We lost the Super Bowl 10 years ago. Get the fuck out of here, Larry. But listen, to answer your question, my favorite Super Bowl was Super Bowl 29 when the 49ers beat the Chargers. They kicked their butt. Steve Young, the monkey off his back. I was old enough to enjoy that one. I mean, I watched the other ones when I was a little kid. I've seen them highlight, but that to me was the first, and that's the last time the Niners won a damn Super Bowl there. Ever since
1995.
then, 1995, golden year. It was a great year. And ever since then, the Niners have not won a Super Bowl. My least favorite was Super Bowl. What was it? The last one we went to against the
58.
58, Super Bowl 58 in Vegas, because I was there and we were so close. We were about to celebrate. Super Bowl goes, you go into overtime in the Super Bowl, you better damn win. And you lost. You didn't know the overtime rules, Larry. You didn't know the rules to overtime, and you lost in my home city of Las Vegas to the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's your hometown? You're a Vegas guy?
Vegas guy. I was devastated, Larry. Devastated that they couldn't get it done. I'll never forget that. Losing to go to watch the Super Bowl live and see your team lose, it hits so different than any other loss. It was painful. So those are my 2 Super Bowls.
My favorite, I would say, I mean, the first one's always special, but I would say Super Bowl 23. What an amazing Super Bowl that was. Joe found Taylor in the back of the end zone, and that Cincinnati team was awesome. And my least favorite is the Harbaugh Bowl. I mean, Jim Harbaugh gagged, just absolutely gagged. All right, let's hit some supers and we'll bolt for the door. Baby Radiant says, will the substation be a factor on Sunday?
I think so.
Lots of injuries.
So.
JC, could you imagine if there were a bunch of injuries and people started blaming the substation?
If there's an injury,
like the most injuries in the history of the Super Bowl.
If there's injuries on the Super Bowl, 100%, so they're blaming it on the substation. Absolutely.
It's unbelievable. By the way, neither Seahawks nor the Patriots opted to practice at the Niner facility. They chose college facilities over the
Stanford and SJSU. They were like, we are not fucking coming here.
JCNY 49er. Jed effed up. It's obviously an issue. Move it. Conversation over. Someone said, I asked that question this week. What would it cost to move the substation?
Oh, good question.
The answer I got was $30 million. Wow,
that's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Like, hey, Jed, by the way, $30 million. Just do it. Just do it.
So would they move the substation, or would you move your training facility to another place?
No, you're not moving the training facility because it's right next to your $1 billion stadium. So you're going to move the substation. I was told it would be like, that's what it would cost, $30 million.
That's a lot of money, $30 million.
So me and my buddies are passing the hat. Anthony Catania from Sharp Corners Sports Cards and Collectibles. Check them out in Monterey. They're in Pacific Grove, I should say, on the Monterey Peninsula. Anthony's at 831-521-5264. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue. He says, Larry, Raj, love the show. Super Bowl this weekend, AT&T Pro-Am next weekend. Everyone come down to Monterey and enjoy the area. It was 75 down here today. Oh, my
Beautiful.
God.
That's
Seriously,
nice.
The weather that we're having right now in Northern California is glorious.
Nice, dude. We were talking about that today. Like the fact that Super Bowl week here is out here in San Francisco and
gorgeous.
Santa Clara or San Jose. It's amazing. And you made a good point to me, Larry. You said it's great that the weather's good because all these people are coming in from like Boston and New York, the East Coast and stuff, like poor weather, Chicago. They're probably loving it. So it's good for the Bay Area for tourism and everything. I think we're thriving. So it's a good time. Weather, keep doing your thing. We love you. That's why people love California.
I was walking into the media center today and I heard somebody on a cell phone walking by, and this lady, she's like, I left Cincinnati and it was 20 degrees and it's beautiful here. I feel like I may wear tank top and shorts. It's like, whoa.
Crazy. Yeah. I was
somebody did say this is the hottest. I forget who it was. Somebody said this is the hottest 59 degrees I've ever seen. I think it was what's the guy's name? Tucker.
Ross Tucker.
Yeah. Gravy 707. Fix 2 substation problems. X-ray material for uniforms. LOL.
Whoa.
God, that's all we need. PWS, do you think Seattle being in the home locker room this Sunday will play to their advantage or not really? Well, what's funny about that is I bet you're going to hear something. I'd love to hear the Seahawks players speak out about this because I've been in a lot of stadiums, and the 49ers stadium has the biggest disparity I've ever seen between the home and visitor locker rooms.
I heard about that. Yeah.
The home locker room is like the Moscone Convention Center. It's got like 100-foot ceilings and it's very spacious, and it's a good 30, 40 yards long, whatever. The visitor locker room is low ceilings. It feels very cramped. It's like the steam from the showers like goes into the locker room. It seems like it's like the 49ers showers are probably 20 yards away from the locker room, and like when you're in the visitor locker room and you feel like you're in the showers almost. It's like the humidity in the water from the showers is like creeping into the locker. It's tiny. The visitor locker room at Levi's is tiny, and the home locker room is massive. And once they see it, they're going to say something. They're big.
I mean, I don't think it's going to play like. I mean, that's crazy that the Niners have their, their road teams have a crappy locker room. But at the end of the day, both these teams know it's got to be. The locker room's a locker room. I'm sure the Patriots have been in shitty locker rooms themselves, but that's crazy that you tell me that. That's actually like crazy to know.
It's funny. It's pretty funny. And since they've been at Levi's only as a visitor,
they're probably gonna be like, oh, this is so nice. Maybe it's gonna be too relaxing for them.
Yes, or maybe we'll throw them off. Maybe you'll throw them off. All right, that is going to do it for us. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Kreuger Show. We should also say thanks to Habas Law, 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. My dad was a lawyer. My brother's was a lawyer. Now is a judge. My sister's a lawyer. And basically, I've had nothing but lawyers in my family. And the difference between success and failure in life is having the right lawyer. And Habas Law, these guys are awesome. Omar Habas, Tarek Habas, and the entire Habas Law team. When they go up against the big insurance companies, the ones that lie and stall and deny and hope that you'll give up, and they just don't blink. They grind them down. They expose their weaknesses. They hit them with strategy and pressure. Habas Law. They know every inch of the Bay Area legal playing field. Nothing catches Habas Law off guard. So if you've been injured and you want to win, there's only one call to make. Visit habaslaw.com on the web, 1-800-INJURED, Habas Law. They will fight to make it right. All right, that is going to do it for us tonight. Raj, we'll see you down at the Media Center for maybe a little KMBR hit later in the week. Great to see you. I like Super Bowl week. It's fun. It's good fun stuff. When I'm sure there'll be a story or two that breaks. It seems a little muted. I don't know if that's just because
there's not a lot of Niners. So for us, it's kind of like, but it's pretty cool. Good experience. I'm learning a lot. It's fun to be there. It was a good time. I feel like if I wasn't there, I'd be having FOMO. I'd be like, I'd be there. So it's cool to be part of it. It was definitely fun today. Yeah.
One last one. Are you thinking that Giannis to the Warriors? Is that going to happen? Is that not going to happen? What's your vibe on
that? My gut tells me it's not going to happen, but there's so many reports. There's like this report, that report. Draymond. We all want it to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. We'll see.
Giannis and Steph would be phenomenal. God, how great would that be? My guess is Giannis is going to spurn the Warriors. That would be my guess. But anyway, for Raj, I'm Larry. Have a great night. We'll see you more tomorrow. Thanks for tuning into the Kreuger Show. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of.